This is the Ripcurl Fusion FlashBomb Wetsuit. It's brand new for 2024, and Ripcurl claim it's a suit where the seams don't leak, and the suit will feel exactly the same on your 100th surf as it did on your first surf. My name's Henry from shore, so let's dive into a bit more of this suit. Now, me and this suit have a little bit of history. I was kindly invited out by Rip Curl to Portugal for the pro out there in summer of 2023, in spring of 2023. And there wasn't much information about what was going on. It was me, another UK store, and the other core dealers around Europe were invited out. And one morning we were told to meet downstairs in a basement of a hotel at about 7 a.m. All very secretive, all blacked out windows, big presentation, you know, sort of security check. We were all sort of looking at each other like, what's going on here? And it was for the actual pre-launch of this suit. Rip Curl really wanted to get it in front of core dealers and core users to make sure that it was living up to the hype that it's supposed to do. When you start making big claims like seams don't leak, you really want to be sure what you're doing. So yeah, really interesting and great that they had us out there to sort of run it through. And yeah, let's go into a little bit about what they told us. So first of all, you've got to think about how wetsuits are put together, the seam technology. You know, suits have come on a really long way in the last decade. They've come a lot stretchier, a lot warmer, a lot more flexible, different entry systems, zipless, chest zip, all of that sort of stuff. But really one thing that hasn't changed too much has been the seam technology, or the way the suits are sealed. If you think that's a big place that water's going to get in, and whichever way you try and do it, especially if you're using a seam, so you're basically punching through the neoprene, at some point you're going to have a leak. So traditionally, neoprene is cut at a 45 degree or 90 degree angle, so they literally run a knife or run a saw through the sheet of neoprene, butt them together, either glue or stitch them or however they do, but you only end up with a very, very small surface area for that seam. So if you're gluing them together, if you imagine if it was only a centimetre thick, you're only getting a centimetre of glue that's going to be applied. What Rip Curl have done, and I'm surprised no one's come up with this before, is actually cut that neoprene at an angle. They claim it's 45 degrees, but when you actually look at the suit, it looks a bit more than that. So that just gives you such a bigger surface area for the glue to be adhesed to. So if you think about it, you've gone from a straight 90 degree butt up with a bit of glue to a much bigger 45 or even more sort of chamfered edge that the glue is plastered all the way across. And that really does, if you think about it logically, just make a much bigger bonding area for the suit. And that's what they've done with the Fusion. So across the whole suit, it uses this 45 degree angle cut, and the neoprene is then stuck together with a tape on the outside to stop any lifting and a tape on the inside to keep it really locked down. Now, we were a little bit dubious. We were sitting there, you know, maybe a few lightheaded moments, sort of trying to understand what they were talking about. But we were given suits and told to go away, test them out and see how we're going. And as I said, that was about 9 months ago now. This is my suit. I think 3 came to the UK, and the pro riders also got them. So Gabby Medina was also wearing one at the event, just really trying to test them out. And I would say, honestly, hand on heart, it has been a pretty interesting experience, like pretty incredible, and it is living up to the hype. So I've used the suit quite a lot, probably not as much as I should have, just because we had a bit of sunshine and light surfing in a shorty or some boardies, but I've worn it quite a few times, and one time that really sort of got me was when I wasn't even thinking about what it was trying to do. So we were at the wave, we were surfing a double or a triple session. I got out from that second session and my chest down to my knees was basically still dry. Now, for those of you who surf the wave in Bristol, isn't much of a paddle out, isn't much of a duck diving sort of job, but you are falling off, you are getting wet, and it's pretty incredible after an hour being in there, you know, thrashing around, that I came out and was like dry. And speaking with my colleague about it, I was like, this is pretty weird, right? Like that, but that is the suit after maybe 25 wears. I'm still getting that brand new crisp suit feeling. Perhaps the suit, you know, it's been used, it's got wax on it, it's, you know, a bit mucky here with some falling over in the mud, but actually the performance of the suit is keeping me as it did on that first time, which is great, right? And what the whole point of spending this sort of money and having this new technology in the suit. When we were at the event in Portugal, I was questioning a bit more about it and trying to understand, you know, this is an expensive suit. How can they justify it? What are they doing to really, you know, get the value, and why should customers get into it? The head of product showed me a little video on his phone, which I think we should be able to play now, of the suit being tested, and told me a few things about it. First of all, every single Fusion wetsuit is pressure tested. So that means that they put it on these sort of beds, they bung up the arms, the legs and the neck, and they inflate the suit to a certain PSI, and then they spray a sort of I don't know, water over the seams to see if any bubbles come up, as you would with like if you were inflating a tire. Now, every single Fusion suit is tested for this, and it has to meet a certain PSI standard to get let through and to be sold. I asked him, what about other suits? You know, he said that some other brands, and probably Rip Curl on their lower end suits, they're only testing 1 in 100, 1 in 250. So it's understandable that sometimes quality does get missed on these suits, versus on these Fusions, every single one is inflated, blowing up, and it's getting that PSI test, which I think again shows that Rip Curl's dedication to actually making something that is gonna last and gonna hold off, which is a really good, you know, I think it says a lot about the suit and justifies that price a little bit more. Obviously, it is part of Rip Curl's Ultimate series, so this suit is going to be top of the tree. We're talking above FlashBomb money, but it does come with all the standard features you'd get on a FlashBomb. So first of all, you're getting that E7 neoprene, which is super, super stretchy. This was used by the guys in the Olympics. That's where it originally came from. It was their sort of special top of the tree neoprene for the Olympic guys, which has now come into sort of more commercial suits. It also has the E7 flash dry all the way through. You know, Rip Curl are a pioneer in this seam technology. They're also were a pioneer in the flash dry lining. So flash dry lining, for those who don't know, the idea is sort of a high pile material. It allows the water to drain through and the air to basically exist, because air is a much better insulator than water. You think a load of water sloshing around, it's much harder to get hot than a bit of air off your body temperature. So it's got the E7 flash dry all the way through. A few other little bits and bobs, a new neck, Rip Curl trying a new neck here, double rolled neck, double line neck. So it doesn't sit as high, I found, but it actually creates a really nice seal and doesn't actually rub at all or doesn't feel too tight. I think some of the single line necks with the sort of more rubbery material on the inside can get a bit nicky and a bit too like sort of sealy. I don't know the best way to describe it, but you feel it when it's on. It's like a rubber texture. Going for this just double line neoprene neck definitely feels a lot more comfortable when you've got it on. All the suits are zip free, so the suit comes in men's and ladies, comes in a variety of thicknesses. So I think we're doing a 3.2, a 4.3, a 5.4 and a 5.4 hooded, but we'll have the versions available up on the screen next to me. And certainly I suppose the idea here is if you're a marginal 4.3 user, so you wear a 4.3 all the way through the year, a Fusion is going to easily be able to keep you warm enough all the way through the year. If you live somewhere cold, like what we do, a 5.4, 5.3 is what we guys usually wear. And if it gets really cold, we layer up with extra hoods. But in the Fusion, you're going to be able to wear that all year without those extra layers, and it's still going to be super flexible because of that E7 neoprene and keep you nice and dry and have no little seams or water getting in. And what else is on the suit? Obviously, yeah, the standard bit, there's a little key holder pouch in here somewhere, just in there, just in the side of the arm there to get your thing. Comes in this cool red color, which is unique to the Fusion. Now there's very few of these available. We've had a very limited allocation. We've already sold probably half of them before we've even made the video. So definitely, if you are interested, get on one. You can come down to our store. We have the full Ultimate Rip Curl range in store. So from Fusion to FlashBomb to Dawn Patrol, every suit you can come down and try on. In terms of fit and size, I know that's important for a lot of people. It comes up pretty much exactly like a Rip Curl does. I'm a medium short. I was given the medium short special edition sample suit, and it fitted perfect. It fit exactly the same as my other FlashBomb suits. And yeah, really interested to hear how people get on with them. You know, it is a lot of money on a suit, but I think when this is the future of seam technology or how you seal a wetsuit, you're paying that first mover. You're paying to be ahead of the pack on this sort of thing. And certainly, yeah, I think they look great. And as I said, giving us one so far ahead of general release and making us basically sign an NDA not to talk about it really does put faith in the fact that these suits do work, and yeah, you should have a good time when you get one. So yeah, if you've got any questions, jump on YouTube, give us a question on short.co.uk, come down to the shop, you know where we are. So yeah, that's the Rip Curl Fusion wetsuit available here now at Shore.